Welcome to another All the Talk, All the Sports podcast. I'm your host, Gary Wenzel. A very exciting episode for you today with a brand new segment I will be doing every episode from here on out on All the Talk, All the Sports. We post every Monday and every Thursday, so that segment will be every Monday and Thursday. Stick around to see what that's about. All of the major sports leagues except the NFL have a segment right now in this episode, stuff to talk about there. So stick around for all of this on All the Talk, All the Sports. Our first topic of discussion today is the NBA and the NHL. Tonight, Thursday, is tonight actually, yes. The NBA returns tonight. The Jazz will take on the Pelicans at 6:30, and then the nightcap, the Clippers versus the Lakers at 9 o'clock. Both Western Conference matchups. These matchups will both be on TNT. Make sure to tune into them for the 2020 return season opener for the NBA. The NHL starts starts Saturday. There will be 6 games a day starting from noon all the way to 10:30 at night. So that is big exciting news for the NBA and the NHL. So now we will have other things to watch other than just the MLB. No football yet. Lots of football stuff is still up in the air. Gonna look at how these NHL and NBA test subjects go. Not much football news today in this episode. NFL is planning to still go on with their regular season as normal. Our new segment, our brand new segment that I was talking about, is going to be called the highlight of the day. So I am going to be showing you the best highlight from the stretch where we haven't had a podcast yet. Like I said before, we post every Monday and every Thursday. So here is the first ever highlight of the day. So let's go. Akiyama lines one to third, caught by Chris Bryant, steps on third, fires to first, in time for the triple play for the Chicago Cubs. As you can see there, that is the highlight of the day for this episode there. Chris Bryant, amazing triple play there, just a heads-up baseball play. You cannot teach that. That is just baseball knowledge right there. Beautiful play for the Chicago Cubs and Chris Bryant. However, the Cincinnati Reds did go on to win that game by a score of 12-7. So that will wrap up our highlight of the day segment. Like I said, really have fun with that segment. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed that segment. Let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed that segment. So I'm very excited for that. Moving on in baseball news, though, now, as you know, as I talked in the last episode, the Miami Marlins had 14 positive cases for COVID-19. They are now up to 18. They will not be playing again until Tuesday, August 4th, when they host the Phillies for a 3-game series. They played the Phillies. That's when this happened. That's when this all went down. So the Phillies actually had to hold up their season a little bit early as well. They had 0 positive cases come back, so that is very good news for all of Philly's organization and Philadelphia, the city. So like I said before, 0 cases. They plan to return Saturday against the Toronto Blue Jays in Citizens Bank Park for a doubleheader, and then to finish the series up on Sunday. So only one team's really affected by this, the Miami Marlins. The Phillies were a little bit affected. They lost a few games, not as many as they would as the Marlins did. The Yankees and Orioles actually were affected. The Orioles were supposed to play the Marlins, and the Yankees were supposed to play the Phillies, but obviously this all went down, so the Major League Baseball was actually super smart and sent the Yankees and the Orioles both to Baltimore and Camden Yards, and they played a little bit of a series so they wouldn't get held up as well. So instead of 4 teams getting held up and having their season held up, it would just be 2. Very smart move by MLB, but later on in this podcast, I am going to be disgracing the MLB, actually, so stick around for that. That is a big segment. It's actually coming up right now. I'm sure you can all guess what it's about. The Astros and Dodgers on Tuesday. Unbelievable. I really respect exactly what Joe Kelly did. I love this guy. I love the emotion he has on the mound. And I'm going to bash the MLB here. I disagree 100%. Throwing the ball, throwing a fastball down 3-0 in a count at Alex Bregman is not baseball. That's unsportsmanship there for Joe Kelly showed for the Dodgers. I don't think you should ever be trying to hurt a baseball player just because you are mad at them. I think you should always be just competing. But when he struck out Carlos Correa and made his little face, I'm going to show a graphic right here. That's just 100% baseball. There's no way that Carlos Correa said something back, whatever. I don't agree with what he said back. I didn't hear anything they said. I know they definitely said words, benches cleared, but I just think that this is just unbelievable. The MLB suspended Joe Kelly for 8 games for talking trash, for making a little baby face like that. Oh yeah, so you suck or something like that. Whatever he said, I don't know what he said, but the MLB suspends him for 8 games. That's just unbelievable. That's just a little trash talk. You can have that in baseball. I don't understand. If anything, they should have suspended him for throwing at Bregman in a 3-0 count on purpose, because that was definitely intentional. But the trash talk, 8 games, that's just unbelievable. Truly not a good decision by the MLB. I 100% agree with that. The bench is cleared, like I said before. But you just got to look at it this way. Joe Kelly is suspended for 8 games because he made a face at Carlos Correa and said a few words. Dave Roberts, the manager, is suspended for 1 game. I don't even know what he did and where that came into play. We all knew this was coming against the Astros, but it was actually the Dodgers, the team that got cheated against in the 2017 World Series. Joe Kelly wasn't even on the 2017 Dodgers. Comment down below what team he was on in 2017. I'll be giving a shout out to whichever correct answer happens to be. Which team was Joe Kelly on in 2017? It was not the Dodgers, so just comment down below who it was. But going back to this is just ridiculous. I'm going to show a clip right here. You knew this was coming for the Astros. I really am happy that this happened. Not that he threw at Bregman, but that someone mocked him. So, free Joe Kelly. Awesome stuff that he did. Really respect it, as a lot of the baseball world did. So, here's the clip of all what happened on Tuesday night. So, as you can see here, Joe Kelly strikes out Carlos Correa. Makes some awesome faces at Correa. You gotta love it. That's just awesome stuff. Nothing even bad there. Might have said a few words right there. Not really sure. But then look at this. Correa's over here being all a big baby about it. And then bench is clear. They all got to make sure they're social distancing, quote unquote. Absolutely crazy stuff from the Dodgers and Astros. 100% respect what Joe Kelly did. Free Joe Kelly. Awesome stuff. There you see the clip again of him striking out Carlos Correa. That's just clean sports right there, and then Correa took it well over the top. But anyways, that's enough me talking about the Dodgers and Astros game on Tuesday night. I really wish I would have seen it live. Unfortunately, I did not. So moving on, 0 positive cases from the NHL and NBA right before their season's about to start. Great news from the NBA and NHL. So hopefully their season goes extremely well and we could see basketball and hockey all the way through October and then just have their season start right back up again. That would be very awesome. Moving on to our next news here, the ACC announces their college football will be an 11-game season beginning September 7th through September 12th. They're a 10 in-conference games and 1 out-of-conference game. I really like this idea. This is an idea that I think every conference should do. 1, it's in-conference games, closer travel. 2, in-conference football is the best stuff because they're more evenly matched than out-of-conference schedule. And 11 games, 10 games, that's perfect amount. Hopefully they can go on with the postseason. I really love this idea. I really think that every conference should move towards this. One game I am looking forward to, as you see just saw in the graphic that I posted, is that Clemson at Notre Dame. So they haven't announced dates, but that is going to be a heck of a game. Make sure to tune into that one. That is definitely going to be the game I am going to be watching that Saturday. Moving on to another topic of discussion, kind of with Notre Dame. Why is Notre Dame not in the Big Ten? When you look at Notre Dame geographically, they are right in the heart of Big Ten country. I mean, they're in Indiana. The Big Ten stretches to New Jersey and all the way out to Nebraska. And Indiana's right in the middle of those states geographically. So I think the Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten, not just for football, but for every sport, because every sport right now is in the ACC. Obviously, football is independent, but move to the Big Ten already. I'd love to see Notre Dame in the Big Ten competing it out with the big dogs that the Big Ten has to offer. So I think every sport for Notre Dame should go to the Big Ten. They're not even close geographically to where the ACC should be. Lastly, I want to discuss right now, let me pull it up on my phone. I got it here, got to get to the MLB standings. Who would have ever thought this would be actually happening? The AL Central and the NL West are the best divisions in baseball right now. Minnesota Twins for the AL Central are 4-1. Cleveland Indians and Detroit Tigers are 4-2. And the NL West, the Colorado Rockies are 4-1, and the Dodgers and San Diego Padres are 4-2. So who would have ever thought that those two divisions would be the best in baseball right now? Last thing I want to talk about before we get off this podcast is the 16-team playoff that the MLB has instated. A lot of people have been asking me questions about that. 8 teams will go from each league, the NL and the AL. 8 teams. So 2 from each division. That would be add up to not 6. Yes, 6 teams from each league, and then so it would be 2 from each division. The last 2 from each league would be a wild card type of thing. So AL will have 2 from each division and 2 wild card, and same with NL. So that's everything that I wanted to get to on this podcast. It was a really exciting podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe on this channel. Like this video, please. I love the support that you guys have been giving me, and thank you all so much for making this possible. So that is it for all the talk, all the sports on this beautiful Thursday. See you on Monday, everybody.